Students, good morning. How are you all? Hope you are fine and safe by God's grace. Today, we are going to learn a new lesson, Employment in India and Tamil Nadu. Employment in India and Tamil Nadu, economics lesson from 9th standard. From 9th standard, economics lesson. Once again, the topic is Employment in India and Tamil Nadu. Well, for every human being, we have the basic needs. Without basic needs, we cannot live in this world. What are the basic needs? Food, clothes, shelter. Basic needs are food, clothes and shelter. And one more basic needs we can add in this list. That is employment. That is employment. The employment is very important. Okay, every human being we need employment to earn money. We need employment to earn money. What is employees? The people who engage in economic activities in whatever capacity, high or low, are called employees. Employees அப்படின்னா கூலிக்கு வேலைக்கு போயிட்டு அதில் வருமானத்தை எடுத்துட்டு வந்து ஃபேமிலியை ரன் பண்ணுறது அதான் எம்ப்ளாயீஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். ஓகே, the employees are the person who engage in economic activities in whatever capacity, high or low, are called employees. Okay, then who are employers? The person or people who employ these workers and pay rewards for the work are called employers. Okay, person who employs these workers and pay rewards for the work are called employers. Okay. Then, what is labor force? Labor force of the economy is the number of people who work and also capable of working. The number of people who works and also capable of working. So, this is called the labor force of the economy. We can take example of age group that is from 15 to 60 years. 15 to 60 years for the computation. Computation meaning calculation. Computation meaning calculation of the working force. So, these number of people who works and also capable of working are called labor force. Example, we can take age group of 15 to 60 years. So, for the calculation of the workforce. Okay, then the people who are less than 15 years is accounted by children. Okay, they are called as a children. The people who are less than 15 years is accounted by children, and people who have crossed 60 years are excluded. Who have crossed 60 years are excluded. They are not fit to work in the occupation, or they are physically not fit. They are not physically fit. The people who have crossed 60 years, they are excluded because they are not physically fit in the occupation, or what is that? Productive occupation. Okay. If the larger percentage of the population is accounted by children and old age persons, then the progress of the country will be very slow. Okay. So, if the larger percentage of the population are children and old age persons, then the progress of the country will be very slow. Then, working force will be very small. Working force will be very small. We have to maintain large non-working force for feeding out of small national products. Slow. What is it, ma? If the larger percentage of the population of the children and old age persons, then the progress of the country will be very slow. இப்போ larger percentage of the population வந்து குழந்தைகளும் பெரியவங்களும் இருந்தாங்கன்னா, then the working force will be very, very small. So that small working force, they have to maintain large non-working force for feeding. Who have to maintain the small working force? Small working force, they have to maintain. They have to maintain the non-working force for feeding out of Small national product. Then employment structure in India. Employment structure in India. In India, the nature of employment is multi-dimensional. Multi-dimensional. Some gets employment throughout the year. Some get only a few months in a year. Okay, that's what is called a multi-dimensional. Some people they will get job throughout the year, but some others will get only a few months in a year. Okay, so in India we have three sectors. What are they? Primary or agriculture sector, primary or agriculture sector, secondary or industries, third tertiary and service sector. Tertiary or service sector. Here we can give example for primary sector. It's a full of basic production, agriculture, forestry, mining and fishery. These four will come under primary sector. And secondary sector is production of goods and industries. Production of goods and industries. And third one is tertiary sector, that is service sector. Third one is tertiary sector. It's called a service sector. Okay. Next, in the same employment structure in India, continuation only. India is a developing country. India is a developing country. Like India, a large workforce people will be engaged in primary sector. That is, large number of people in India, they engage in primary sector, whereas the small proportion will be engaged in secondary and tertiary sector. Secondary and tertiary sector. Students, what we discussed, India is a developing country. Here, the larger people they will be engaged in primary sector, whereas the small proportion of the people will be engaged in secondary or tertiary sector. Secondary and tertiary sector. பாருங்க, இந்தியாவில் பெரும்பான்மையான மக்கள் வந்து பிரைமரி செக்டார்ல வேலை செய்றாங்க. குறைந்த பகுதி, அதாவது குறைந்த மக்கள் வந்து they will be engaged in secondary and tertiary sector. In developing countries like America, Europe, in that country, the working force will be very small. For the working force, the small people only will be engaged in agriculture. They will be engaged in agriculture, but majority labor force engaged in industries and tertiary sector. Majority people they will be engaged in industries and tertiary sector. India போல நாடுகள்ல பிரைமரி செக்டர்ல நிறைய ஜனங்க இருக்காங்க. செகண்டரி டெர்ஷியரி செக்டர் குறைந்த ஜனங்க தான் வேலை செய்றாங்க. ஆனா டெவலப்டு நேஷன்ல, okay, well developed nationல small people, small working force will be engaged in agriculture, but majority people, labor force will be engaged in industries and tertiary sector. Okay. Employment is an important element of Indian policy of India. Okay. Employment is important element in development policy in India. Okay. Then employment growth. What is the growth in India? The employment growth increased at an average rate of 2% during past 4 decades. What is past 4 decades? For the 40 years. One decade is calculated into 10 years. So, 4 decades is calculated into 40 years. So, since in the year 1972 to 73, the employment growth will be increased at an average rate of 2% only. Okay. Then the important points we are going to discuss. Then in the medieval period, Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Who is a Firoz Shah Tughlaq? He is a Sultan of Delhi. Firoz Shah Tughlaq is a Sultan of Delhi. He has established or set up employment bureau. To whom? To solve the unemployment problem. To solve the unemployment problem only, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, who was a Sultan of Delhi, he has established employment bureau. Okay. Employment bureau, and in the past 4 decades, in the year 1972 to 73, only 2% employment only increased. And in India, development policy also increased for the employment. And in the developing countries, working force will be very small, and majority working force will be industries and tertiary sector. And here the developing countries working force they engage in agriculture, and India is a developing country. Here large number of people engage in primary sector, and small people will be engaged in secondary and tertiary sector. Types of employment. Here there are two types of employment. One is organized sector and unorganized sector. What are the types of employment? Organized and unorganized sector. Let us see organized sector. People who involve in the government authority and they follow rules and regulations. Okay, in the organized sector, people they will be involved in the government authority and they will follow rules and regulations which was given by the government. Okay, and they are formal in nature. They are formal in nature. In India, the employees of central and state government, banks, railways, insurance and industry. These people will come under organized sector. Okay, then here what are the facilities they are getting? They were provided job security, higher wages, fixed working hours, and they are provided medical allowance and insurance also. They are provided medical allowance, insurance, and they have the fixed working hours and higher wages. Okay, so this will come under organized sector. Then what are the points will come under unorganized sector? The unorganized sector, they were characterized by household manufacturing activity and small scale industry. They are characterized by household manufacturing activity and small scale industry. Here, for the jobs, low payment was given. They are getting low payment. Whom? The unorganized sector. Okay, and often they are not regular. Often they are not regular. They are not paid on leave, holidays, and due to sickness. In the unorganized sector, people will not get any payment when they take leave, holidays, and sickness. Okay, so it's not secure one. Which one? The unorganized sector is a not secured one. Here, large number of people employed on their own small jobs such as selling on street and doing repair works. பாருங்க இந்த unorganized செக்டார்ல வந்து நிறைய ஜனங்க வந்து they'll be going for the small job. Okay, like what? Selling on street and doing repair works. And finally, they will not enjoy any special benefits or any job security. எந்த பெனிஃபிட்ஸுமே அவங்களுக்கு கிடையாது. Because they are not registered with the government. அவங்களுக்கு வந்து கவர்மெண்டோட எந்த ஒரு சம்பந்தமும் கிடையாது. Because they are not getting government salary. Whom? The unorganized sector. But here, organized sector, they are getting government salary. Students, next we are going to learn public sector and private sector. Indian economy, we can divide into two sectors. One is public and private sector. From the public, what are the points? It's a service motive. Service motive. Government, what is it? Government, department, everything, they are the service motive. They are doing the service. For whom? For the public. Who is the public here? People. Okay. Then, the government owns the assets. Assets means property. Assets means property. Okay, like government college, government bus stand, okay, government department, everything will be what? Owned by government. Assets means property. And here, the people, they are getting wages by the government. The people from public sector, they are getting wages by the government. So these are the points will come under public sector. Then private sector is a profit motive. லாப கண்ணோட்டத்தோட இருப்பாங்க. யாரே? Private sector. Here, private individuals owns the assets. அவங்களுக்கு என்ன இருக்கு? Property இருக்கு. அவங்களுக்கு private company சொல்றோம் இல்லையா? அது private தான். Okay, third one here, people are getting salary or payment by the owners of private enterprises. Private enterprise only giving salary for the private sector. Okay, then example for the public sector, NLC, SAIL, BSNL. What's the abbreviation for NLC? Neyveli Lignite Corporation. SAIL abbreviation, Steel Authority of India Limited. And BSNL abbreviation, Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited. These are the example for public sector. Here some examples for private sector also. What are they? TVS Motor, Ashok Leyland and Tata Steel. Tata Steel. These are the examples will come under private sector. Next we are going to learn employment pattern. Here there are three patterns, trends we can say. First one is increasing self-employment. First one is increasing self-employment. அவங்க என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, வேலை கவர்மெண்ட்ல கிடைக்காத பட்சத்தில் இவங்களே பிசினஸ் தொடங்குவாங்க. அதான் increasing self-employment and they are using full-time employees. இப்போ ரோடு கான்ட்ராக்ட்லாம் பண்றாங்க இல்லையா, ஃபுல் டைம் அங்கேயே நைட் ஸ்டே பண்ணிடுவாங்க, அடுத்த நாள் வேலை கண்டினியூ பண்ணுவாங்க ரோடு கான்ட்ராக்ட்லாம். ஓகே, so they are using full-time employees giving short-time contracts. Okay, and third one, the growth in the part-time employment. Part-time employmentலயே அவங்க நிறைய பேர் சேருவாங்க. So part-time employment opportunities also increasing in India. Then come to employment trends in Tamil Nadu. Employment trends in Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu, employment growth contributed by unorganized and informal sector. அப்ப நம்ம தமிழ்நாட்டுல வந்து எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட் growth எந்த அளவு முன்னேறுது அப்படின்னா அன்ஆர்கனைஸ்ட்லயும் இன்ஃபார்மல் செக்டர்ல தான் முன்னேறுது. Because people, those are educated people, they are not getting any government job. So people are going for unorganized sector and informal sector. So they are depending their own opening business and they are earning money for their family. Okay, thank you children.